I still see adults still saying I go to the store. I hope that, yeah. I hope that doesn't happen. I go to the store. I went to the library. I'm a big stickler on the word library. I know it's horrible. But again, one of the things is they apply them rigidly, not knowing that some rules have exceptions. So now children understand grammatical relationships they cannot yet express. I like you. When the world is mine, your death shall be quick. Pains. So if you guys know Family Guy, that's where he's from. Because one of the things, if you notice Family Guy, little Stewie, when he's having a conversation, who is he talking to? The dog. And his little stuffed animal. And in his mind, he's having a full-on conversation, but when everybody else hears him, it's not a real conversation. Again, that's one of the things you always, that's what I always want, I don't want to say that's what I always wonder. I always wonder if that's how kids are. They're having their own little scary conversations. So now, under extend word meanings. And that's one of the things is, I don't know if you've ever come across kids who are like, that's my daddy. And the other brothers and sisters are like, no, that's daddy. That's my daddy. And it's like, that's when you come across this and you're like, no, they underextend the meaning. Got you. So that's the reason why, as you learn all the concepts of psychology, after a while you kind of just sit back and just watch people and you're like, nah, gosh, I know why. This. That's how I look at everything now. It's weird. I'm just like, no, I won't say anything. No why. And then you have this one, Melissa calls all animals doggy, because they know that one, it was taught to them at one given time, and mother taught her to call their dog doggy. So now everything has meaning of doggy. Doggy, doggy. My niece, I loved her when I love the fact that she was amazing, but when she was a baby, she just runs around blue balloon. Blue balloon. She called everything blue balloon. I'm like, it's red. Blue balloon. It's red. Blue balloon. It's pink. Blue balloon. I'm like, forget it. Yeah, at that point you're just like, no. So within that, why is it off? And that's one of the things I'm always a big advocate for, reading to your children. Because as you're reading to your children, it offers a level of imagination, and it allows them to expand their mind. Because one, you're allowing them to say, okay, these are all things you can imagine as you're going along. Because I've come across children who at times have no imagination anymore. Their primary focus of imagination is what? A little tablet, the phone, everything. And I'm like, ooh. So now, developing trust. So if you look at Erickson, you're realizing that early experiences are key to developing either trust or mistrust. So they're learning that. They're learning to say, okay, what things can I trust with this individual? If I'm being mistrustful, I'm primarily going to trust my caregiver. Why? Because they were there last time. They offered care. Within that, you're also developing autonomy. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. And that's where they're understanding the aspect of external to, the shift from external to self-control. They're no longer simply blaming something. They're now saying, okay, I did this. I'm to be blamed for this. I better make sure that I don't get blamed for this. So that's where one, negative tendency to shout no, just for the sake of resisting authority. That's when you have a child saying, no, no, no. And you're trying to tell them something, and they're like, no. Okay. And it just embarrass you in public, and you're like, that's my professor right there, don't say anything. Shush. Yeah, that happens. So now as attachment happens, we're looking at one, don't trust them, it's a trick. Because one, they're looking at primarily how to interact. In addition to that, they're also looking at the aspect of what can my smile do? What can my crying do? What can all of this do to make sure that I am ensured protection at all times? So within that, evolution has endowed a baby with many behaviors that elicit caregiving from the adult. As well as literally, I'm hoping that most babies are cute. If not, then I don't know if you ever watched Seinfeld where it was The ugly baby, yeah. But again, one of the things is you're hoping that the baby, there's factors to it to make sure that the child is literally a pint-sized individual. To ensure that, one, they are cared for. So 6 to 8 weeks to 6 months, baby starts to recognize and act differently around familiar and unfamiliar. Now, this is an individual. What happened is the mother had gotten a makeover. So the mother had gotten a makeover. The baby did not know who that mother was. The child started freaking out, started crying, everything else, because the child was thinking, this is not mom. I don't know who this is. And the mom's like, it's me! And everything. It's like, no, you look different. You look weird. Yeah. So now, true attachment. The child will use mother as a base to explore from. The baby trusts the mother to be there. Again, it always comes down to who? Mother. Mother is a huge component of the baby's processes. Reciprocal relationship. Negotiation often takes place. Earliest social experience in the family. Again, this is one of the things we're always trying to encourage. Family units. Secure attachment. Again, what you're looking at is secure attachment, avoidant attachment, ambivalent attachment, and disoriented attachment. You're going to see these across different boards in regards to children, in regards to how they will incorporate their ability to share with their parents. And then you have Erickson, maltreatment, parental mental illness. And this is where you have insecure attachments due to the fact that there is some level of maltreatment or even some level of mental illness. So again, you have different temperaments, emotions. So newborns are able to demonstrate their unhappiness by crying and flailing their arms. So within that, they stiffen their body. When the baby needs something, they will cry. But again, a lot of times we're looking at it like, yeah, that's simple. That's really easy. But the reality is when we're in that moment, this goes out the window, believe it or not, and we start panicking. So one of the things is it's always coming back and reassuring yourself, okay, what is happening? What is going on? Did I do a checklist of everything that was happening? Because again, parents will ask that question saying, my child is always doing this. They'll start turning red and everything else, and I don't know what's happening to them. I don't know why they're crying like this. I don't know why they're flailing their arms. Again, that's one of the things you're always trying to do is say, okay, well, this is what is happening. You're trying to reassure parents from that outlook of emotions. Then you have smiling and laughing. Again, it happens within the areas of the first 3 months. By third week, the infant smiles in response to voices and faces. Again, that's where as Navajos, what do we usually do? We try to make sure that we don't make that child laugh because, again, we have a big dinner for them. And that's one of the things of, within that, we try to avoid that. So now you know. So if a person ever has a baby, you know that, okay, I have a good time frame to not really make them laugh. So again, that's what you can use. And now we're looking at how babies can show joy, sadness, and interest. In addition to that, as well as fear. We look at the body language. We look at how they're turning away, as well as turning the gaze away. And stranger anxiety. That's primarily where you have a lot of individuals, and I'm. How many have ever done that? So, say for example, during Christmas or Thanksgiving, you have relatives come along and they will go up to the baby and they'll simply say, "I'm your uncle, love me," and they'll try to grab the baby and the baby's freaking out. And then as a parent, what do you usually do? Go hug them! And the child's like, what is going on? And the child's now traumatized, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, the child doesn't even know this person, and that's grandma! Hot dang! You're like, wow. Again, you don't want to traumatize a child. That's really bad. Because again, it's one of those things where they'll see the person, they're trying to incorporate all those different aspects as they're going along. And then you have cultural aspects. These are cultural aspects. Social referencing. Again, you're looking at the aspect of, one, I'm going to mimic my parents' phobias. If a parent is afraid of mice, your child's probably going to look at it and think, I'm afraid of mice too. I'm afraid of spiders. But then you ask the child, like, are you really afraid of that? No, I squash it. But again, it's all social referencing of saying, okay, this is what I need to do with this given time frame, or this given element. Children use mental strategies to manage emotions. That's one of the things we're always looking at. But again, as they're going along, we're looking and saying, okay, do they know how to regulate what emotions are there? If they lost a loved one, do we give them time to process? If they lost a dog died, all these different things. And I have a lot of parents, when they come to me, they always ask that question of, how do we have that talk with our child about their dog dying? We just told them that they flew up into the air and they're gone. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, primarily come from their outlook. Tell them that their dog has gone away. Again, you're always trying to come from where? Their level. If you say, you know what, they've gone off to the spirit world and everything else, and they're looking at you like, will I go off to the spirit world? Oh my gosh, I'm going to go off to the spirit world. And they're freaking out like, I don't want to go to sleep. Because some individuals will say, you know what, your dog went to sleep and they've gone away. And the child's like, I don't want to ever go to sleep. I don't ever. It's like, oh gosh. So that's one of the things you're also looking at. Interacting with others, you have parallel play. And that's where they're learning to see what other kids are playing. If you notice, some kids, oh my gosh, they're amazing. They can make friends quickly. Versus us when we're adults and we have higher level of learning and we're like, nah. I mean, I love kids. They're amazing. They'll go to somebody, they'll go to another kid their age and like, will you be my friend? Yes. We're best friends now. And they just walk off and I'm like, man, if I ever did that to somebody, just walk, I said, can we be friends? No, and they walk off, I'm like, fine. Then you have cooperative play, that's where they start to learn that, they're socializing, and that's where we're talking about the aspect of saying, okay, what things can we do to prolong all of this? And then you have simple social play, where they're interacting with one another. Symbolic play, that's where they're starting to play. That's where they're using their imagination. They're using all these different aspects so that one, there's a level of solidarity, but they're also saying, hey, you know, why don't I play a doctor and you play the teacher? Or why don't we do this and why don't we do that? And that's where they're looking at the symbols, the symbolisms. And then you have the aspect of interacting with others across the board. So then, this is from a cultural outlook. Any questions? Yes?
With the children interacting with each other, well, not children, but the mother interacting with her child, there is a experiment that I've seen about the still face.
Oh, yes.
About how the mother would just not interact with the child. And it's very disturbing because the
Yes.
child would just like slowly be hopeless and stuff and would stop trying to get the mother's attention or something. And then once the mother gives attention to the child, they'll automatically get joyful and awesome again.
So this is where we're looking at that. We're looking at avoidant attachment. So avoids mom when she returns, but one of the things is right here, the inconsistency. So that's where you have individuals also from a very young age, you're noticing that. They're saying, what is happening? It's disjointed. Something's not right. I saw them happy earlier. Did I do something? What is going on? Again, they're all trying to figure out all these social cues, and then when they try to interact again, now all of a sudden, again, it can also impact the child to where they're like, I don't trust you anymore. I'm beginning to mistrust you. If you keep doing this, I'm going to pull back even more. Again, that's one of the uniquenesses. So yes, it's interesting.
So it could negatively affect the child if it's happening on a daily basis.
Yes. Say, for example, you have a child who's looking to mom, and mom is having postpartum depression. On one end, she's interacting with the child. She's like, oh, you are the love of my life. All of a sudden, just like that, she's like, just walks off, and the baby's like, what's going on? What's happening? Why am I just interacted with you a little while ago. Now suddenly you're having these highs, lows, and that's one of the things is that's where that's where it goes into the area of neglect. And a lot of times the child's starting to incorporate that. So as they get older, what happens is it impacts them as they, yeah. So, any other questions? I love questions. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions? See you guys. Adios. Pagone. Xixing. Xin chào. Buenas noches. Adios. I'm not here. Good afternoon, or good evening. Hey. Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah, there was no last time report.
Yeah. Yeah, we just finished just now. We're done, so. Okay, all right, sounds good. Yeah, okay. Okay. Good, 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 good. Yes, yes. Okay, all right, sounds good. All right, I got you.